What's going on, everybody? All right. So I put out it's been a while since we've done one of these, but I put out a tweet the other day and I put something in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, highly recommend checking that out. But the ultimate idea here was for us to go ahead and make sure that people that say that they are trying to get jobs, like if things aren't going right, like let's figure out what that kind of looks like, right? And so today we are going to be reviewing a lot of portfolio sites, actually. Um, what my belief is, right? I believe the average person doesn't actually understand what the purpose of a portfolio site is. I don't know why. It seems like a lot of the YouTube tutorials, they don't know why they're even using it or why they're saying it. My belief in what it is completely I have not seen one single tutorial ever cover the angle of what I believe a portfolio site to be. And so we're going to kind of go over that. We're going to really, really go over that in a big way today. What's up, Francisco? How are you doing, brother? It's been a while. Hopefully everything's good with you, man. So let me go ahead and start opening these up and let's kind of go over what this essentially is going to look like. All right. So from here, I have the tweet open. I have our Discords open. Let me open these links up and let's get this thing going. So there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4. That's from the Discord. I would do Discord first to prioritize them. And then let me drop in to, where's that tweet at? Here it is. And so I got a bunch. Now, I got to go through some of these because for whatever reason, what's the plan? Do you already have a list of the portfolios to check? Yeah, I put out a tweet a few days ago, and man, we had so many come through. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of review quite a bit of them. But I'm trying to find ones that don't have personal information on them because a lot of them had like their phone numbers right in the main thing, their emails. And I know with this going on YouTube and all that, I don't want everyone just getting hit up nonstop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to cover up as much as I can. And so there's that one. There's this one. I've got a bunch here. Let's go with this one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me go. Okay. There's that one. And a lot of these people were begging for like, please, please, please. So I'm trying to do as much justice as I can. We'll see how this one goes. Oh, wow. We got a lot. Okay. But I mean, if it's public, yeah. I mean, it's you know how the internet is, man. And sometimes I get nervous about stuff like that. Some people they don't understand what like happens when a lot of people see something, and so I don't want to tempt folks to hurt some of these folks. You know what I'm saying? All right, and so let's see here, and now we have this one. We've got a lot of people just drop their LinkedIns instead of their portfolios, which is interesting to me. There's this one. Okay. Oh, I see. This person put the wrong link. Yep. All right. I think there was one more. I remember I replied to him and even asked permission if I could review it. So let me look at that one because I think that one's a good one to bring into this. This one. All right. All right. I think I'm ready. What's going on? What's going on? Roxy. Excited to take notes and hang out. Yeah. You're the LinkedIn guy. Yeah. I'm excited to see you after a year, Render. Yup. All right. We got a lot to go over. So I picked I honestly haven't really looked at these portfolios except one of them I glanced at. Yeah, I'm going to screen share now. One of them I glanced at just for a couple seconds to confirm it was the right one. But the vast majority I did not look at, okay? And so there's going to be a lot here that we're going to kind of go over. Will I be sharing my screen? Yep, just did. So I wanted to make sure like the ones I picked for as best as we can, some of their personal info was kind of hidden. Now, before I kind of start jumping into this area of a portfolio site, we got quite a few people hanging out with us. Thank you. Y'all could have been anywhere you decided to hang out with us. It means a lot. So really, really appreciate that one. My question here is, when you think of a portfolio site, anybody in the chat, go ahead. I know I've asked Twitter this and I have a lot of opinions there, but what do you genuinely think the purpose of a portfolio site is? I asked this question yesterday on Twitter as well. And let's go ahead and look at some of these responses, because I think this is going to be a very indicative idea of what we should be looking at. Let's see here. There's that one. Where is this? Yeah, software developers. What do you feel the purpose of a portfolio site is? This is why I think we need to address, because I really didn't see, not that I saw all the notifications, so maybe I missed it, but have to go back to editing, then going to bed. Don't forget. Yeah, brother, appreciate you hanging out. As a designer, for me, it's to showcase my work and capabilities. Not fully. This is the problem a lot of people don't realize. This is really the problem. Share proof of experience. Not really, but kind of. This is why this is the interesting thing. A lot of people on the internet, they have a really bad misconception of what a portfolio site is. And then a lot of the YouTube tutorials, a lot of the social influencers they've shared, in my opinion, they've really done a bad job. A trailer of yourself, I think that's an interesting one. Okay. It's to get an intro call, but how? Like how? Visual representation of capabilities. Okay, that's an interesting one. Yeah, my answers are very different. There's elements of some of the things that y'all said, but it's very different. Let's kind of go through some of these and then I'll explain. Similarly to an artist portfolio, it's a physical example of work. That's an interesting take. I don't necessarily fully agree. This is a great first impression for beginners, entry-level positions. Not necessarily sure what it is. For me, it's my home base, all my projects, books, articles, etc. Interesting question. What impression does mine give off? Also replying with interesting, legally obligated. And the reason why is I was testing out a bot that would just look for Twitter replies and reply interesting. So it worked out. But I didn't realize it was still going on. I thought I did it for a couple, but next thing I know, I did it for all. It should be to provide value. So share your knowledge with companies, etc. Yes and no. So I'm still figuring it out. But do I put more social things there than on my resume? Okay, let's kind of discuss what a portfolio site is in my eyes. A portfolio site to me means it is a place where I can convert someone from a viewer to a conversational person based on what it is that I'm doing. It's a sales funnel to a certain degree. The idea with the portfolio site itself is I'm able to display anything I want on this thing that doesn't necessarily live or thrive in platforms like a resume, your LinkedIn, your networking tools, et cetera, et cetera. Like I can put anything on here, but I'm being very intentional about what I'm putting on there, because it's already a very difficult task to get someone on your LinkedIn profile. And then it's an even more difficult task to finally get them on your portfolio site. So now that they're there, why are we just following the average design or pattern that we see with people on their portfolio sites? Like, why aren't we showing more? Why aren't we showing who we are? Why aren't they learning about us as a human, as a person? One thing that I've learned, and sales is not really a thing that I know or do, but if you really think about it, people don't buy things from salespeople. People buy things from people that they trust, they've built rapport with, that they know. Your portfolio site essentially is supposed to build that rapport for you. It's supposed to make you feel like you're not another candidate, right? So before we even like dive into these portfolio sites, let's just scroll a couple of these. This is what I call the scroll test, right? So as we're scrolling, that's the end of the portfolio site right there. We have the project section. Let's go. Okay, nothing there. All right. Now we have this one. We scroll. Okay, that's their portfolio site there. Okay, that's it. All right, we have this one here. That's it. We have this one here. All right, that's it. We have this one here. That's it. We have this one here. he implemented some of this, but that's it. Taryn, okay, that's it. Now, to counteract this, I wasn't really planning on this, but to counteract this, what if we do a scroll test on this? We're not going to dive into this. We're not reading it. We're just scrolling. This is mine to give you an example. We have this. We can go here, scroll, 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 scroll. Like, we're not reading anything. We're just scrolling at this point, right? Based off of this one, right, versus this one, do we not see a very distinct difference? Do we not see a big difference? Like, I'm just curious. Well, my answer was correct. I just didn't say the how, which is probably the most. I mean, get an intro call. Anything is for an intro call, right? Like a conversation, a coffee chat, a LinkedIn profile, a resume, me giving somebody $5, like all that is the same thing for an intro call, but specificity, right? And so do you, like, based off of the scroll, I'm not going to go back to it, but based off of the scroll from my site versus the 5, 6, 7 that we clicked on, do we feel like there's a difference just in the scroll? Like, we didn't read any of the content yet. We didn't dive into any of that. But just from the scroll itself, did you feel like you got something out of that? Like, did you like, if you just based on the scroll of mine, for example, what are some of the things that you feel like you got out of this, just looking at this versus, I mean, well, let me just ask you, like, if you just scroll on this, like, what do you feel you learn, gain, or know about me based on this alone? Just scrolling, right? Like, what do you think is the distinct difference here? And then if we were to go here, thinking outside of the box, they say it, speaker, hireable, like community. And that's the thing. Like, for me, you learn all of this without even diving into it, right? Like, this is, I mean, it's literally a scroll, right? And think about the average person that's going to one of these portfolio sites. Like, I'm giving them things to interact with, to learn, to know, to control where it is that they're going, right? But they're learning so much about me in that process, as opposed to, hey, I'm a junior software developer. I'm from Manitoba, Canada. Thinking outside of the box. I don't know how, if they could show me, and this is what I always come to in these things. It's like, if you can demonstrate items instead of saying that item, the impact is higher, harder, and more memorable, right? You say you're thinking outside of the box. There's nothing here that showcases that. There's nothing here that highlights that for you. Like, what are we doing with this portfolio? So if I landed on this, I don't know what I would walk away with knowing about you. And that's the thing. You did the hard task of getting me to this place to find out something about you, and this is what you give me. What do you think that anybody's going to walk away with? All right, let's check out your blogs. You say you got blogs. Improving the Windows development experience. Okay. This picture has more personality than the whole homepage. But here's the thing that I always come back to when I think about portfolio sites. I don't owe you the time to check out your items. You have to create an incentive for me to want to check these things out. If you do not create that incentive, someone's not going to check it out. They're just going to check out of being on your page. That is the whole focus. I'm going to have to use the F12 to see how you did all. It is a lot. And the other thing too is, like, when it comes to this, often people say, like, I'm not a good designer or something like that. Use a template, hire a designer, experiment. There's a million ways to do it. No one is going to judge you if you use a building tool, if you outsource the design work, none of that. They just care. And think about this. Who's the first level of hiring? Generally speaking, it is not someone in a technical position. Generally, not always. I won't make a blanket statement, but generally. So if it's the vast majority of the time you have a non-technical person on there, do you think they're going to know the difference if you use like a WordPress site, or you used a template, or you built it yourself? No. What are they judging? The same thing that the average user judges when they go to a website. This thing looks decent. They probably know what they're doing. And so that is why on your portfolio site, more than any other platform, I believe that it's very, very important for you to have a very aesthetically pleasing website because of that. Because you will lose that user. Like if I landed on this, I don't even think I'd click on anything. I'm just being honest. And I don't know this person. I don't owe this person anything. They don't owe me anything. But it's like, what am I gonna get out of this? There's nothing here to interact with. I don't owe them the time to check out their thing. So if there's nothing there, there's no personality here. There's nothing about them. Like they have all these projects, right? What here incentivizes me to even check this thing out? I don't owe them the time to check it out. So it's like, why would I go here and check it out? The other thing is a simple JavaScript class to add a transitioning rainbow or gradient. Like, why do we have this here? Allows you to apply transparency to programs. Under the hood, it's a wrapper around, okay. Unlike other programs, we only call the API as needed instead of every second. I think we're really missing the mark on this one. Satisfying scroll. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That was without reading the title. Pictures and testimonials and scroll. Exactly. Show/prove, not tell. Exactly. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Like I would be highlighting, I would be putting all of my volunteer experience. I'd be putting everything. Oh, I should have like highlighted all these people. I apologize for forgetting to click on that. I'm out of the whole thing of like frequently, streaming. It's been a while. So great point. I see many people staying away from templates because they think they'll lose the opportunity to showcase their coding skills. Showcase the coding skills on projects that actually matter. Like if I go into an interview and it's a job interview, regardless if it's a junior level, senior level, whatever, internship, and the project that I'm talking about is my portfolio site, I failed that interview. I gave up a very valuable opportunity to highlight my technical abilities in areas where it matters. No one is going to ask you technical things about your portfolio. Maybe mine is an exception here where Prescott's like, oh, I'm going to see how you did all that portfolio site. But the average employer might not necessarily be interested in that. They're going to be interested in other things. So when it comes to the technical ability on your portfolio site, I think you're really, I don't want to say wasting time because I don't think it's a wasted time. I believe that there's two types of projects. There are projects that you build to learn things from. These are essential to your growth as a developer. Then there are projects that you build to showcase in interviews. These projects are not the same, but you need projects in both columns in order to be a hireable developer, in my opinion. And so a portfolio site is a project that you build to learn from, to implement logic, to really push yourself. It is not what is going to be the thing that I showcase in an interview to prove in a demonstrable way that I'm a technical individual. That would be missing the mark. So yeah, I don't think if your goal is to get a job in tech, I think focusing on that is like a big loss in my opinion. I would use whatever it is in order just to help increase levels of conversion. Because at the end of the day, like here's a prime example. I haven't opened this website in forever, AutoZone.com. For those that don't know, I worked at AutoZone for a long time. And fun fact, now that this is public, I built this whole thing. I love seeing this because I built this whole thing here. I built the scrolling effects. I built all that. It was actually one of the very last projects I did before leaving AutoZone. But now, if you think about something, right, all this here is creating like an action for me to add something to a cart, right? So let's just go ahead. Let's add this to the cart. Never allow. Go ahead, close this. Add to cart, sure. This is the beginning process, and I built this too. Fun fact. This is the beginning process of your sales funnel. Like that, from the time that they landed on the website, actions were being taken place. The funnel is very big, and it starts getting narrow until the point of putting in your credit card information, right? So now we're at the biggest part of that funnel, and we're going through here. So now we have the view cart and checkout. That's another step. We've moved further down the funnel. We go to checkout. That's even further down the funnel. You complete your purchase, you complete the funnel, right? You should be thinking about your portfolio site in a very similar way. Like, okay, we're right here, top of the funnel. How do I get them interested? Do I get them to attend a meetup? Do I get them to reach out to me? Do I get them to contact me? Et cetera, et cetera. Like, where are And then here, like I'm proving more value if they got here, or maybe they clicked on one of these important links, like joining the Commit Your Code Discord, or checking out one of these podcasts, checking out the courses, going to the Commit Your Code 2025 conference, et cetera, et cetera. Like that's further down the funnel, right? They are here. This is reestablishing social proof again. And here it's like, I'm just showing something about me. Then what does it come down to? Lower, 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 lower. So the idea here is, for me, my portfolio site has a different goal than like getting a developer job. I don't really need that. And I truly, like, I think once you're at the senior level, this is going to serve a completely different purpose than like at the junior level. You know what I'm saying? And so here it's like, what am I doing to help convert that individual that lands on this website? So to me, Ethan, sorry, buddy, your portfolio site just missing the mark, unfortunately. So we'll close that. Now we look at what is this? Eriga. Hopefully I said that properly. I apologize if I didn't. I'm Thompson Eriga. All right. So we have this photo of you. So at least we learned a little something about you, right? And so it looks like, we have a toggleable theme. I didn't even know this was it. I thought it was a button. So maybe working on that. The design definitely needs some work. Don't get me wrong. We have these keywords here. And then we immediately go to my projects. Like, I don't really owe you this. So leading directly into this, I barely know who you are at this point. I don't have an incentive really to check this out. I'm Thompson. I work with strong HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All right. Unfortunately, I feel like this is also missing the mark. And then it's a single page, so everything is just clickable from there. I think this needs a lot more work, if I'm being honest. Hopefully that helps. Falilu. For those that don't know, Falilu went through our cohort program. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been not paying attention to these comments. I apologize. Should we have this many projects? You and Leon said 2 to 3. Here's the thing. I don't care if you have a lot. I don't care if you have a little. I'm not a quantity person when it comes to the projects. I am a quality person. So at the very least, we should have like one that we are super, super proud of. Like the best work that we have. That would be the bare minimum. But I do think 2 to 3 projects that you want to talk about in an interview is very valuable. Hopefully that helps. I think most people are interacting on YouTube, so I'm switching in from LinkedIn. Hey, welcome to the YouTube. Yeah, I came from there too, Prescott. All right. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So do we want to explain ourselves before showing off the project? Yes. Danny, what user role are you playing here? Do hiring have the time to learn about you? What are you trying to say here? Just hiring. Oh, are you saying like a hiring manager? This is going back to what the purpose of a portfolio site is. Number one, if I'm going to events and I'm networking with people, like that's the ultimate goal, to get a referral into a company, connect with individuals, things like that, right? Do you think I'm going to be leading in immediately with let's connect on LinkedIn? It's like, hey, here's my portfolio site. Why don't you check this out and give me some feedback, take a look at it, etc. So like, let's say I didn't know Prescott, I didn't know Roxy. We meet at a coding meetup, right? I would be like, hey, I see that you work at XYZ company. I see that you work at ABC company. Let's connect. Here's my portfolio site, because I don't have the LinkedIn app on my phone, so it's probably going to be easier to connect there. Go to dthompsondev.com. And plus, if you give me any feedback, I think that'd be phenomenal, right? Like it would give me a big service if you could check out some of my stuff on there, but at least give me a feedback on like the portfolio site itself. So now I've given them almost like a call to action. So like, hey, let's connect. But you could really be doing me a solid here by checking out my portfolio site. Now, if this is my portfolio site and I give it to Roxy or Prescott and they don't know me, they just met me at this meetup. When they're looking over this, and let's say I have a bunch of projects on this thing and I've got all my blog articles and like I got some blog articles that I've written some things on recently and some resources and all that right? I got all the stuff there. They may know something more about me after that. They may reach out. They may give me feedback, right? But they'll do the other thing too, as in connecting with me on other platforms. Maybe they'll even send me a message on my email message form so we can connect, right? But then, of course, they could email me. They can go to YouTube, et cetera, or they can connect with me now on LinkedIn, right? And the best part about this is at the bottom of the page. So they have to go through everything to see my thing. This is how, as you're networking with people to try and get referrals, you control a lot of that flow. Because think about this. Everything on your LinkedIn profile is a direct response to a question. What is your experience? What is your about me? What is your featured section? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This, I'm controlling the flow. I control what they see. I control the tone of what they learn about me and how they think about me. Don't you think, based off of this alone, I'm going to be able to go ahead and end up, quote unquote, converting them into a bigger believer in my ability just off of that alone? So when it comes time to get recommendations for referrals, and like, let's say when they're at, what do you call it? Like at work, and someone says, hey, we're hiring right now. Who do you think they're recommending? It gives them an opportunity to learn about me. That's the whole purpose here. And so for me, I still lead with my portfolio site, depending on the person I'm like connecting with. Now, if I'm connecting with like, because my goals are now different, right? I'm a director of a tech organization, right? A lot of the people that I'm connecting with now are at that C-suite level. So we're talking about like CEO, CTO, CFOs, etc. The game is a little different than it is with senior developer, mid-level developer, engineering manager, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so these will be the people to advocate for you in rooms that you're not in. And that's the whole purpose here. Yeah, you could do the basic thing of giving them your LinkedIn profile. I'm not saying you can't. But if you wanted them to learn things, like for me, part of this is like, I like doing sponsorship things, or I like doing developer education on certain items. So if these companies reach out to me, guess what? I can go ahead and do something with them, right? They can contact me for that. Or maybe it's like to sponsor the podcast or something like that. They can contact me for that via all these forms. This converts really well, by the way. Like I get a lot of emails. To be honest, now I'm having somebody look at them because I can't keep up with them anymore. But I mean, that's just kind of the whole purpose here. This converts in that regard. If my goal was to get my first job in tech, I would probably have these links replaced with other items like pictures of me at events and meetups, me at a hackathon, me at volunteering at XYZ organization, me with a group of developers hacking on something at a coffee shop. Like, to be honest, this thing with Prescott, like I like this. I don't know if he did this based on something that we talked about or if this was here before, but like stuff like this allows me to see more about Prescott in these 5 images than these previous 3 or 4 portfolio sites alone. And so like now the only difference that I would have here is I wouldn't have it in one small section. I would have this sprinkled in everywhere. See? Yeah. Definitely based on what you've taught me. See, and I love that idea. I love that you've implemented this. I would have it sprinkled around, kind of highlighting things that I've done to highlight, like maybe awards that I won, maybe events that I've been a part of, et cetera, et cetera. This way, they're learning so much about me just in that scroll. So, like, if you have a portfolio site, what you should be doing is like, what's the scroll test? Because think about it, the average person may not read everything on there. To be honest, they're probably not going to. But if they can learn a lot about you just in a scroll, you're being it. Got to make that DSD gallery. Yep. DSD. Love the pics. Hey, I think it's a great touch. And it adds a lot of personality into what it is that you're doing. And now, of course, here's at the top. So let's say, for example, I got on this portfolio site and I clicked on this. What happened to this portfolio site? It's gone. All of it's gone. Like, what do you do then? All the hard work you put in is gone. They don't learn anything about you. Now they're here, and you only have what they can learn about you here. No information here. No information here. No information here. Let's see here. One line. We have this, which is fine, I guess. We have this, and like this doesn't entice me to really click on anything. This is pretty interesting. Actually, just off of a glance, this is not a bad feature section post right here. I'm not gonna lie. This is a good post. I like that post. The rest of this, even this needs work, if I'm being honest. But for the most part, not terrible, but not great. But I didn't really learn much about you. And so you lost them because now, do you really think I'm going to go all the way back to the portfolio side? I'm going to like now, but if this was real life, I'd probably just do this. Then what are you going to do? You lost them. Let's go ahead and refresh this person. I like that little animation. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead. We got a bunch of icons here, and then back to just projects. Based on your previous portfolio discussion and this one, I'm going for a bit of a redesign. Hey, I think that's fantastic. Sorry, I had a kid thing. Wait, so linking off the page, what did he say? Separate window, don't do it at all. Well, for me, when it comes to, and just realized I actually closed his link. And so now I don't even have the link. Hold on. I don't know where it is now. Oh, wait, was it in Discord? No. All right, I don't know where he put it. So I apologize. I don't know where it is anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, so for me, it's like I don't want to redirect them before they have time to learn about me, and so I don't want to have my social link right here at the top because now they're just gone at this point. And so I would rather have them. And it, like for example, Falilu, he had all his at the top. I'd probably rather have it at the bottom, in the middle. Let them learn something about me. Like here's links here at the bottom. That's a great way to control that path. And then yes, I would have it open in a separate window, not in the exact same one, because now if I click on this, like a perfect thing here, Osizelli opens it in a new window. So if I have to go back, I could still go back to their portfolio site. But they're still here kind of early. Like I said, I don't know anything about Osizelli at this point, nor did I know their name was Osizelli until we got to their LinkedIn profile. Let's see what this about me looks like. I like that transition. So here it says Osizelli. So it's not even until I go to a separate page do I learn that about you. Yeah, that's my name, but call me AJ so you don't butcher it. Okay? AJ. Email, LinkedIn, certifications, cool. Listen while I cook. I'm gonna be honest. So a couple things. When it comes to So one of the biggest things that I've learned about e-commerce in general, or like working in enterprise level organizations, is we're constantly thinking about who's landing on the website, right? Like who's getting there and what is their experience going to look like? Who's the target customer and market? One thing that I would say here is if I'm thinking that the average person landing on my portfolio site is a professional, maybe someone in HR, maybe it's an engineering manager, maybe it's a senior developer that may recommend me for something. I want them to learn a lot about me, but I want them to learn about it in a way that looks like I'm a good fit for their company, right? Like that's what I'm constantly thinking about. So when it comes to this, as of right now, if I didn't go to your LinkedIn profile, I would not know what Osizelli looks like. I don't know what they're really a part of, et cetera, right? But now I'm learning about their musical taste. What if I don't like this? Now I'm like, oh, wow, maybe they're not a fit. Don't disqualify yourself from certain things based on preferential personal items, right? I want them to learn about who I am, what I'm about. As of right now, your projects, I don't know why this is a separate link because your homepage, it goes right there, and then the projects goes right there. But right now, just off of your portfolio site alone, I've learned absolutely nothing about you. And when I don't know what I'm seeing different. Like if you look based on this portfolio site, what should I present myself first instead of, I mean, kind of the way that I'm talking about it, right? Like, hey, Falilu, everyone has different names and everything. It's so hard to keep up with everything. Okay. Yeah, Falilu, I would kind of highlight, like I said earlier, like you may need to go back in time because I don't want to keep saying the same things over and over again. But I would be like, here's me at an event, here's me at a hackathon, here's me doing this, here's me doing that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Showcase more about you so that way I learn more about you as a person I could potentially work with than as a resume candidate. That's the big deal here. Even this, for example, there's no difference really between the resume, their GitHub profile, and their portfolio site. It's all the same thing. But even if you look at the projects, I don't owe you the time to click on this thing. You need to really create an incentive for me to check this thing out. As of right now, I don't know what that incentive is. Like to me, it just seems like work that I'm going to have to do to go through this. It's not inviting me to check it out, unfortunately. So I would do a lot of work. I do think the transition that you have between pages is pretty cool. But one thing that I would say is, especially in web development, especially in today's current trends, if you're doing a transition like that, it almost feels like you're purposely slowing down the experience of the website. So I would rethink how long that transition takes place. And I know, I'll be honest, I'm like a sucker for like a really great like hover effect or something like that. But you need to start thinking about like, do they just think my website is really slow and I'm filling in time with this transition thing? These are things that I'd be thinking about. I missed a lot of comments. Let's see here. All right. My brain is so not wired at enterprise level. Yeah. Got to take all the notes. You got to kind of move towards that. That's the biggest thing. Just changing my LinkedIn to what Danny and Taylor and Leon have told me has doubled the view. Hey, I did not pay her to say this, y'all. Okay, noted. Thank you. Yeah. What is this? Adil Abdul Azim. What's going on, Adil? It's because of YouTube, different stuff. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and check out Daniel's. I mean, there's nothing here. And then the worst part too is I got to scroll over. This shows me that there's an issue here, right? Like, this shouldn't be happening, but there's nothing here. There really is nothing here. I don't really have anything good to say because I learned nothing. There's a lot that I'd have here. Prescott's. So yeah, I mean, so like this is the landing area. I'm assuming this is like your resume. I know. Okay. I would really work on the stylization and like the way that we're presenting this here. I feel like we're really missing the mark. There's not a lot there, but I do like this addition here. I like that there's a YouTube video here. I would probably have this YouTube video in a completely different area though, to kind of highlight more of my work and technical achievements. Because as of right now, I don't really see much about what you can do. So if I came here with the intention of trying to learn about how to highlight you, I wouldn't know how I wouldn't know what to do. So hopefully that can be some help. So Terrence, let's go ahead and refresh this. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. So we have projects, we have contact. My name is Taryn King. Okay. Cool. And that's just straight to projects. Yeah, there's a lot that I would work on here. It's just very, very basic, unfortunately. It's also a single page website, so I'm guessing all this, yeah. And I'm guessing this is like a download button for the resume. All that text is great to even, yep, I would. Have coffee chat with Terry. Can I share my portfolio here? All right, we'll see how long I go. Because I've got all these here. I got so many submitted even on Twitter. But after I get through these, I may do a couple. I'm not against a single page portfolio site. Like if you look here, I mean, this is a single page, right? So you can get so much achieved and done and showcased about yourself in a single page before you have the other pages to rely upon. So I have no problem with a single page. It's just, are you using your space wisely to demonstrate the things that you want to demonstrate? Yeah. You know why? It's because I'm, and I get it too, because people popping in later, something like that. So I feel like some of it is the same conversations again. So it's like, oh, I'm getting thrown off on that tangent from like answering those previous questions for the other people that weren't here to kind of keep them in the loop. I stole the "Let's Talk" text from your website. Okay, is this Isaac now? Let's go ahead and let's refresh this and see it. Hey, I'm Isaac, a software engineer. I create captivating, immersive, and user-friendly digital journeys. That's cool. All right, explore project. Let's just scroll. I focus on working closely with clients, ensuring clear and open communication. The best software development practices. How do you know that? Why do you feel that way? I'm flexible for communication across time zones. See more about me. What is this, like a resume kind of style? Okay. Skills. Okay. Show more. Okay. I can go on and on. I will say at this point, I like some of what we're doing, even though like there's still a lot missing. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like so far from the portfolio sites that we've seen, because I think we reviewed what 6, 7 right now. This I've learned more about you in the short period of time. Have I learned all the things that I'd probably want to learn? I don't know. I don't know, because like these are just keywords at this point, right? This I've learned something. I don't know if it's good or bad. The question that I ask here is like, why are you telling me this instead of showing me this? This I would assume this to be the case if we're having a conversation. So I feel like this area could be better used, but I like the fact that there is something there for me to learn about. Here are some of my portfolio projects. Click on. I like this. Did you learn this from me? I like this. I do think maybe this is like a what's it called? A breakpoint issue. Uh, I do like that there are gifts, but I feel like it could be because I closed this out. Yeah, I feel like there could be a little bit more here of substance, but I do like this section quite a little bit better. I feel like, man, so I was hoping by now we would see like one example of like a good project section that I would advocate like as an example. Yeah, having gifts is really good. GIFs, however the hell you say it. I say gifts. I've always advocated for that. I've always talked about that because it creates that incentive a little bit. But what's missing here is like, and I know it's here on the hover, but I would rather have something underneath that is static that tells me why this is a thing that you built, what problem it solved, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, I've yet to see a project that I can think of that solves a problem, delivers a solution, and it allows you to talk about that solution. Like having a movie project, that'd be at the end. It wouldn't be at the top for me. An international company, I would probably have this a little bit higher, I guess. I don't know. This showcasing your invention, like this, I'd definitely have that way higher than that. Click on it. Yeah, but now ask yourself something. Did I know? Was it obvious for me to click on it? Was any of this obvious? So I would just highlight this thing and think, okay, here's the example. My immediate reaction was, as soon as I click on this, maybe I'm going to your GitHub or something like that. So I think your user experience needs to be adjusted on this one. I do like that there is something there, but you need to have this. So prime example, I worked for a company in the past that they had a sales funnel, a checkout page that originally had 7 steps, right? When we reduced that to 2 steps, we saw an immediate increase in revenue of almost 60%, just reducing the number of steps. So when you increase the number of steps, you need to be very intentional as to why and how it's helping you in order to quote unquote convert this person. Would you even however imply that? Yeah, I would probably have something there to basically say like, oh, go ahead and click this or something like that. But I would still have something static, because if I just landed on this and I didn't hover over anything just intentionally, I don't know what any of these price projects do. I know what this one does, IP address tracker. That's easy. I know that this is a movie one, but the rest I don't really know. Click on any of my projects. Yeah, but think about it. How many people really click on this stuff or read every single line on the page? I didn't even notice this line this entire time we were here until you said that. I'm not even gonna lie. Can't even lie. I didn't notice this line the whole time. Let's talk. I like this, obviously. On single page 2. Cool. This is definitely one of the quote unquote better ones, but there's a lot to. I didn't even know that line was same. I had no clue. But this is definitely one of the better ones, but it's not. There's still a lot that I would personally do with it. Yeah, it's just not me. How dare you try and call me out, Roxy? Unbelievable. All right. Dioran Urevi. Hopefully I said that correctly. If I didn't, it was not intentional. All right. So we have this. A lot that I would do with this. To be honest, I'm wondering if this is even accessible. But regardless. Then we have, of course, these. I see them everywhere. And then go straight to this. Is a sleek recipe web app. Yeah, it's the same things. At least this is static, so that way, I can kind of find out something right away. But there's a lot that I would work here. I think the issue is that the site has a lot of moving parts. Yeah. I thought showing my work would keep people interested. No, they don't owe you the time yet, right? You haven't proven. So think about it, right? It's kind of what I said. If you checked out the latest episode of the programming podcast, and like what the episode is, the art of the DM. And so the idea there was, how can you craft a DM to help you in talking to either two different sets of people. One is the person that posts a job listing that is trying to find and hire somebody today versus trying to build rapport with somebody, right? I wouldn't approach those DMs are very different to me. They wouldn't be the same way that I would approach them given those circumstances. And one of the things that we kind of highlighted in there is, how do I explain this in the best way? If you ask somebody for a coffee chat, you're asking for 15 minutes from somebody, right? Let's say you're asking this from the higher up you go, the harder this ask is, right? So to give you an idea, if somebody is making, let's just even pull up the calculator here, right? If somebody is, let's say they make $200 an hour, or not 2,000, that'd be great, but and you want to go ahead and have 15 minutes of their time, so we'll divide it by 4. That means that 15 minutes really costs them $50. If they have no attachment to you, they've never met you, they've never really interacted with you, why would they give $50 to a complete stranger or sacrifice $50 with no upside or even equal side to them, right? They're not breaking even. They're losing money by giving you that 15 minutes. It's not attractive. But let's say we've been interacting for a while. And then you're like, hey, I really want to jump on a coffee chat with you, especially if this person isn't like an influencer, a massive following where they're getting like hundreds of DMs a day, etc. That incentive, especially because now they like you, it's so much higher. And if that incentive to do that is higher, the 50 becomes irrelevant because they're like, oh, they're no longer thinking that this random person on LinkedIn DM me asking for time. They're thinking, oh, the person that I've been talking with for 3-4 weeks is asking for 15 minutes. They got a problem they want help with. Why wouldn't I do that? The money doesn't come into the equation anymore. So that's kind of how I look at these projects. By me even coming to your portfolio site, I'm sacrificing time, right? Either unless you use it in your flow in the right way, like you introduce yourself with it, et cetera, et cetera. I land on it. I don't have an incentive yet to click on this thing. I don't really know a lot about you. So it's like you want to create that incentive for them. You want to, human beings eat with their eyes, make them hungry, right? Like make them really think about this. Like, oh, wow, I need to check this thing out. I want to check this thing out. How did he do it? Like, for example, Prescott, when he saw my portfolio site, first thing he said was, how did he write this code? Even though it wasn't my intention for Prescott to have that incentive, it was created because of what he saw visually. So that's kind of what you need to start thinking. How do you create the incentive for people to want to take a journey with you instead of you convincing them to take it? I gotta catch up with the episodes, but today I was at the one with the meta developer. Yeah. Distracted me from anything else on the screen. I'm really good at finding the catch up. I don't know what I missed on that one, regardless. But there's nothing here, unfortunately. And this is not the first one that we saw. It won't be the last one, I'm sure. But there really isn't much that I learned in this one. Sorry. Hire Tim. Let's refresh this and see how this goes. Okay, I like that little loading. Full stack blog app. Okay. The line that I saw about clicking. Huh? Make them hungry with their eyes. I'm telling y'all. Let's see. Build something that grabs their eyes. Design and style weighs a lot here. Yeah, especially because you got to think about the average person. Yeah, click any project. Yeah. You need to, especially when you consider the user that's landing on the website, right? Like I think that's the big thing. You need to think about who's landing on there, and if it's not a technical person at all, they don't care if you have the coolest algorithm in the world that made this the fastest experience. They're going to care about like what this looks like because that's how they're developing their trust. It's not even funny anymore. Yeah. Anytime you have to over-explain a joke, you lose all of it, and it sucks, unfortunately. And the other problem too is like I'm noticing some of these comments really late because I'm trying to go through points, and then it throws it off even more because of the delay, unfortunately. So that's my bad. Roxy used confuse. Leon would have died at that joke. I learned something new about Leon recently. That man's diehard into Pokemon. So learned that one there. And let's see here. All right. let's look here. So I was looking at Tim's. Tim has a full stack blog app. Is it okay to make the link directing the GitHub repo if the website is not like? Yeah, sure. But just remember, they don't owe you the time to check out that code. That's a big thing, right? So I would have something there to kind of show. But the other thing that I would say too is if it's a project that you're in the process of building, it probably doesn't belong on your portfolio site. Anything on your portfolio site, your LinkedIn, your resume, these should be the done things that you are ready to highlight, talk about, geek out about, and showcase. Like, here's the thing. It's also 2025. Please make sure your website is responsive for bigger screens, including for. That's what I'm saying, man. Some of these websites are all off, and I'm like, oh man. What's going on, Wayne? How you doing, man? Dude, he loves Pokemon so much. I feel like I should learn some stuff just to blow his mind. Man, he loves Pokemon. I didn't know that. You know, these are things that you learn as a bestie. You know. All right. Let's see here. I like this so far. So immediately we're hit with one of his projects that is successful to a certain degree. 390 stars is nothing to shake your finger at. There's a live demo here, so let's see what this is about. I don't even know what the project is. Full stack blogging app. Okay. Hey, Tim, I built this with Next.js and Superbase. Need a dev? Let's chat here. Cool. I mean, the design is clean. Very simple. It's very basic, simple, but it's clean. And I guess based categorically, we can see things. I'm not. This is one thing. By the way, I'm so glad that I just saw this. So Tim did the hard job of finally getting me to check out one of his projects, right? And then for me to learn more, what do I got to do? I can't even see it. I got to sign in. I don't know what he's doing with my information. I don't know if it's at a level that I want to do, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not going to sign into something to see the back end or the dashboard to see how it works. So unfortunately, you've lost me at this stage to go deeper. And this is one thing that I've talked about before, that if you have a project that is showcasing authentication in some way, shape, or form, have a guest login button that puts in all of like the dummy login information for them to see the back end. This way, you don't lose somebody checking out all the impressive things that you've built. Cool. And then here's the thing. You're showcasing this at the top of your thing, and everything is 2 years ago. You updated the README 2 months ago. Fixed the URL import 2 months ago. I don't know if this would be the thing that I'm trying to highlight if my goal is to get like a job right now. Let's see. Look at Danny reading the words at the top now. Was it in this regard? He's selling it to OpenAI. Don't do it, Danny. You had me at hello. You lost me at login. Exactly. This is the goodbye portion of this site. Yep. Guest login. Great idea. Yep. Yeah, I will say his portfolio size is minimal, right? But here's the same problem with his. If anything, it's worse on his than these other sites. If I don't go to these pages, the only thing I really learned was, hey, he wants to be hired, and then he has these projects. What did this section really achieve that the average project section on a resume doesn't do already? It's just shown me the projects. I feel like we really missed the mark on this one. Let's check out the about real fast. Why hire him? Okay. View resume. Resume needs a lot of work. But what is different here versus his homepage? This needs a lot of work. I will say I like that first picture silhouette looks like a cat. Yeah, he did a great job getting you to click. Well, it was more so because there was nothing else here for me to interact with. So I was like, all right, let me see it. But I don't know if that helped his case or hurt his case, if I'm being completely honest. Like, having 390 stars is cool. I don't necessarily know that's life-changing by any means, where I would be leading in with first. I think there's way better ways to do this, unfortunately. And to be honest, I think to a certain degree, he definitely loves this style because even that portfolio site follows a similar style. But there's nothing here besides that, and so I don't know. Um, Hopefully that helps, Tim. There's just if I was in the position right now that I landed on your site because I'm like I want to learn more about Tim. Let's say I even went to your site via your LinkedIn. All right, so I got all your info off your LinkedIn, and I went here like, all right, I want to learn more about Tim. What would I learn? And like, you think these aren't on your link? Let's just see. I don't know. I'm making a very broad judgment here. So same photo, 8 connections. Those we got to get those up, and that's the same thing here. So it's like, what did you achieve differently that your featured section didn't do, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I want to learn about you. I'm here to learn about you. I'm here to make a determination on whether you could be a great team member for me to interview. Use that as the opportunity to do that. Let's see here. Like, okay, but if you were actually looking to hire, would you click? I probably wouldn't. Honestly, and the scroll test that I do is not something that I proprietarily came up with. It's from me watching user habits when they land on a website. The first thing they do is scroll to see what's there. It's almost like what I call the scan test. So to give you an idea, when it comes to your average resume, they spend around 6 to 10 seconds on your resume before deciding if they're going to invest more time. They basically do a quote unquote scroll test of your resume to see what's important to read, see if something catches their eye, and then they start diving into the areas where they want to, if there's an incentive to do so. That's basically what happens here. So when there's nothing here, it's like, what do I do at that point? Is it okay to tell that render suspended my server as I get off the allowed number of requests because I'm applied cron function to send requests automatically to prevent getting into sleep mode? Is it okay to tell? Who are you telling that to? I don't know. I do prefer minimalist portfolio websites or Flash anime. I could totally see that. I think a lot of people are into that to a certain degree. I will definitely say mine is definitely not minimalist, unfortunately, but it works. It works really well. I have a pretty high level of conversion rates on this of people like that actually land on the website, go to another page, that go to one of my links, that email me, et cetera, or book like one-on-ones with me. Like, it converts really, really well for that. And the other thing too is like, because mine is set up for me to get speaking opportunities or sponsorship deals and stuff like that. This converts really, really well for that. Danny, what do you think about having a clickable word button that takes you to all the socials in a new tab? So like theoretically, like how this is a button that shows for like play video, but you click on it and then it shows you like socials, but in a separate tab. I mean, you could. The question is, would you like that as an experience? I don't know what the answer to that question is. Like, if you had to go through that, would you be happy? I recommend people sort of create a case study from their projects. Yes. This is the biggest thing that I always advocate for. I constantly advocate for it. That's why I was waiting for a project that had something static, but also like something moving. So like here, he has this, right? This portfolio app built with Kotlin and Jetpack, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's so much missing. I would rather have it's something like, here was a problem, here's a solution, here's how I delivered that solution. Based on that, it lets me understand what your ability was, why you approached it that way. Things like that. That's the demonstrable way that you show that you're ready to work in a company. Kwame. You know who has a good portfolio site? Just off of this alone, you learn something about Braden, right? As you scroll, I think he changed this. It was something slightly different before. Okay. You can book a call with him, toolbox, learn more, his blog, site, etc. Now, I will admit, commit your code. He's been working on that website, Pomegranate. I will admit, I know he loves this design. I think his last design was better. This is very cool, though. This is very cool, actually. This has like a good balance of like flashy. Oh, you don't have. You could tell him. I've told him already. I talk to Braden multiple times a day, every day. That's my boy, man. Um, like I think from a informational standpoint, his previous version gave a lot more detailed information onto who he is. But this is the first time I actually checked this out. This works really well. The problem is I just think of the flow to that. I think that flow would work, but alert he needs. Yeah, yeah. All right. Telling interviewers during technical when asking why your server is not functioning, as I got out of allowed number of requests because of free tier limitation. Yeah. When it comes to the interview in that regard, um, if I'm interviewing, if I'm actively in the process of trying to get people to connect with me to hire me, I think having the excuse of a free tier when this is the tool that you're using to get people to learn about you is a very, very bad response. It would be something that I would be nervous about saying. I would actually, instead of having that as a response, I'd remove that free tier because, like, what is the next level of the tier? Is it $5, $10? Are you saying $10 is the difference between someone having a good impression of you and a bad impression of you, and that $10 was too much? That's something that I would be thinking about in the grand scheme of things. Oh, Tim, thank you so much, Danny. Oh my God, I received so many good advice. Hey, I'm really glad, man. I will say, of the portfolio sites, you definitely have a great one. Don't get me wrong. Don't like well, as far as like aesthetic, um, there's just so much that you could do with it, and if you do it, I think it's going to go a really, really long way. Uh, Matter of fact, let me pull it back up one more time. Yeah, I think this. I think there's just a lot that could be done here. But I think if you do it right, it's gonna be a slam dunk. All right, let me go ahead. Okay. What is this? I love all the photos of him at the top. Might steal that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. I think this looks super clean. That's like commit your code. Oh, I did not know you could drag it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Braden, when it comes to design, he knows what he's doing. I gave him a lot of pain when it came to redesigning the new commit your code thing. He oh, I did not know this. Fun fact. How does it look on mobile? I'm glad you asked that, sir. Oh yeah, because he's nominated for like a design thing. Ooh, so that's still there. Book called me, so it's stacks, blog stacks. Oh, he shared that on Twitter. I wanted to check if I was on there because we definitely met. Better not be a hater. Yeah, I mean, on mobile looks pretty decent to me. And there's a community wall. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I like that. Looks good on mobile. What was I gonna say? And then he has the social links there. And I know he's trying to get like more speaking opportunity stuff. So I think that works fantastic. And he's logging it all, which I think is great too. Invite me to speak. I think that's a great CTA right there. I think it's good. Yeah, I gave him a lot of grief. Now I was remembering where I was going with this commit your code design. We have it coming out like real soon, and uh, the cool thing here, I made him redesign this logo like 20 times because I kept saying over and over, like, I'm not design inclined. I don't know how to match color schemes of a lot of things. Like I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm constantly like learning new things about design to try and just increase the skill that I got. And I ain't gonna lie, he finally put his foot down. He's like, Danny, I've won awards for design, and every good design you've turned down. And I was like, man, I don't know nothing about design. I'm gonna tell you that, but like if the average person that doesn't know design has the same feeling that I had, don't you think we're missing the mark? And so then he's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna fix this but this is the old website. The new website is gonna be coming out real soon, real soon. I'm really happy with the new design. Check out my two-tone pants on that homepage. On the homepage, are you on this? Oh, are you saying on this? Where's Braden's? Oh, Braden, he made this redirect. That's terrible. Oh, this. Yeah. Yeah. Braden needs to fix that. Actually, and to be honest, what's funny is we still don't even know if that's going to be the picture. I just threw random photos for the thing. Oh, that's the cohort project. Whoops. Well, we don't. We don't know. Oh, 1 second. No, yeah. But this is the design. For those that haven't seen it, the design came out really, really well. Yeah, so this is the design. We've already built the homepage. We're working on the speaker page right now. I did not realize your pants were two-tone. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Just humming away the rude. Yeah. Because I got music going on in this. So I'm just like kind of vibing and going through it. But like this design came out pretty good. Yeah, we just put placeholder photos basically to fill it all out to find out like what looks best. Like we don't know who these people are. I have no clue who that is. Like even for Devin, we didn't have a photo to throw in the placeholder, so we just used like some random photo from Pickleball. You got to give me a photo. Vibe hating. I don't. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Oh, love the design. Thank you, Braden. I know I gave him a lot of grief, but it came through in the end. Then this is theoretically that we still need to finish implementing this. The ticket that everybody will be getting in the email when they get their tickets. We're trying to finish that. Oh, I can't remember if we decided to go with this one or that one. I think it's this one to follow the whole city skyline theme. I don't know how we're going to do it though. We haven't figured that part out yet. Oh yeah. These are like some iterations of the logos. He wanted to make it look like branches. Discord members, it's even worse for my what's it called? Event Convo website. For Event Convo, I've got users in there that never even been on the website. Eric's on there, Dennis is on there, Isaac's on there, Braden's on there. He's never even logged in the website one single time. I just use whatever. Look, you know how many photos I have on my computer that aren't even of me? It's of everybody else. All from the meetups and the events and the conferences. So it's like when I try to actually find a photo of me, I got to go through a lot of folders to find it. So I just click on anything that's random. Stock photo goodness. That's right. Get some likes on the video. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the point here. So KP, I'll be honest. I think this looks interesting. I think this would work if it was a different page of your website. I don't think this works well at all for the page that you land on to learn about you, unfortunately. And then like here you have like if I'm hiring, why would I be interested in you in the gym? And then you're a lead UX designer. I think it would make me, and I hate to say it like this, but especially if someone's like a recruiter or something, I wonder if they would question your design choices for this, because especially because it's not even just UI, it's UX, like user experience. So I would be focused on like, what is the user experience of the person that's landing on your website? Is it, and making that silhouette of who the average user that lands on here is going to be. It's going to be somebody who's a professional. It's going to be somebody who may refer you in for a role, or maybe somebody who is in a business capacity, not a technical one. And you're going to go ahead and try and like influence them to kind of refer you or hire you or interview you. I don't know if this is the best foot forward. Maybe they're hiring for gym techs. Yeah. I mean, if I was applying to like Gymshark or something like that, maybe I'd make a version of this website that could be there. All right, let's refresh this and see. This is Clifford Mapesa. All right, Clifford, welcome to my personal portfolio site. I'm Clifford Mapesa. Learn more. Okay. What? Did that just take? That just scrolled. Hold on. So that just moved me a little bit. I think I don't think that button's necessary at all. I don't know what the bigger idea is. And then we go here and it's the same thing. Here, there's something static, but here, if you combine that with like the whole GIF thing, I think that would have been a significantly better approach. Unfortunately, I don't really think there's anything here that I can learn about you. I need more details here, unfortunately. Featured section should never be links, so you're already missing the mark in that regard, in my opinion. I would not have them as a links. I would have them just as posts like this, where you can write about something. See here, you have me where I can read something about you, and then you have a link here. Why not give me the bulk of the value here? You're missing the mark. All right, Noman Patel. I like that. That's cool. I know what template this is. And then it's broken. This, it might be because of my ultra wide monitor. Let's see. Could be, but yeah. Oh, Danny, I added my portfolio after the stream started. Would like some feedback if time allows. Yeah, if time allows, for sure. Got a jet picking up the Ellis from birthday. Yep, thanks for hanging out. Take care. I'll be honest, Naman, there's nothing here. Like, this is what I always come back to. And then you have two CTAs that are the same. Here you have information about me. This is your about me, and there's nothing here about you. And then you go for your home, download resume. You go here, it's the exact same CTA again. Like, we're not making use of our space, unfortunately. I would fix a lot of this, unfortunately. All right, let's go ahead and refresh this one. All right, I'm Mike Sunday, front-end web developer. I think this looks interesting for sure. Transform your visions. Okay. About me, I'm a self-taught front-end developer. That's not a value add. I would remove self-taught because, if anything, to some people, it's a deterrent. So, like, there's no point to have that there. Then you have a bunch of icons. You have the projects again, and that's it. It's the same thing again. There's nothing here. And it's a single page that's scrolling me through all that. And then you have your resume, and there's nothing here. I would work on a lot of this. A lot of this needs to be worked on. You know, I used to have a thread of like really impressive. Let me see if I can find it. I bet you I can find it. I used to have an entire massive thread of like great portfolio sites. To be honest, not LinkedIn, Twitter's search sucks. Hold on. Advanced search. All these words. Isn't there a way to like search from a specific user from these accounts? Let's see how this works now. I had a list of like really great portfolio sites. There it is. Let's see how these look. I'm sure people have had like iterations since then. Let me save that so that way I can like reshare that. You have no idea how accurate that is, unfortunately. Connection timed out on that one. Okay, this one. This is Jerome's. He submitted this in like the whole portfolio site. Maybe I should make another new post of that. As you scroll, you learn about him a little bit. As you scroll, you're getting out of this. The past decade, they've been a webmaster. This is pretty cool, actually. Yeah, you can tell like this is somebody with an immense level of technical expertise and skill. Oh, there's no links. Mentorship. See the sessions I offer. Schedule a call. Oh, that's a disappointment. I love the site so much that I'd want to follow Jerome, and I can't even do it. I'll visit my YouTube channel. Man, that link was high, like hard to find. Teaching the craft of front end. When's the last time he had a post? He's still active. Yeah, give Jerome some love. Let me even subscribe to his YouTube channel. I don't know when the last video he had come out. 2 months ago. Okay, might be. I might actually go through that. All right, Ellie's. I like the design. I don't recall it looking like this. I don't know if she changed it or what. It could be a change. There could definitely be some improvement. Don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, but I mean Jerome's, for example, like this is 2013, right? So he baited me 2 years ago. It just took 2 years for it to happen. Let's see here. West IL. Oh yeah. This one, I remember this one. So you can go, welcome, the following commands are available. Head over to my GitHub, follow me on Twitter. So we can go do Twitter. Oh, it's not working. Uh-oh. Wessie boy, unfortunately, it looks like it's broken. Sucks. Scott Spence. I love Scott. Yeah. His is really impressive, less from like the actual design or learning about him, because he's just very established, more from the blog standpoint. He has a next level, very impressive blog. And I think that's where this got on the list. Oh, this one's 4-4. Dang, another 4-4. Let's see. So you're learning about him, some of his inspirations. Okay, that's one's pretty decent. Let's see here. Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of these websites are different from what I remember. There was one that was like super impressive that I wish I could find. No. Well, because here's the thing. When you are at a, and so let me bring this up for the chat. That's something that I've noticed with people who've been in the industry for a long time. Their portfolios aren't what you would expect them to be. It's just massive knowledge. Because once you get past like a mid-level developer, the goal of your portfolio site now changes, because it's not going to be the thing that gets you into an interview. That's long gone at this point, right? So there's nothing there that would do that. So it's like, if you know now that it's not going to be from a higher ability standpoint, what are you doing to get these roles. Essentially, it's like that's kind of like the way that you need to think about it. Someone in the chat said they submitted their portfolio sites. I'm going to be on for like another 10-ish minutes. So like if you want your thing reviewed, let me know right now. I don't know where you submitted. Oh, maybe you did in the Discord. I had Discord closed. Okay. All right. All right. Here is the one that somebody was in the YouTube chat. Yeah, Adele, put it in the chat or tweet it at me on Twitter or LinkedIn, or put it in the Discord and I can take a look at it. Who was this? I think this is Hamidu. Okay, well, devs, I'm Dev Burst, full stack software engineer and recent graduate. Okay, my question is, who do you want on this? There's nothing here. I don't know what you wanted me to review. I don't know if this was you or not. What did you? I mean, is the person landing on here like a recruiter? What do you want them to do or know about you? They don't even know your name on this. Is it to get more developers going to your YouTube channel? Even then, like, how are you creating that incentive for them to go to YouTube? There's nothing here, unfortunately. I'm not sure what you wanted me to review. And then you want to be an educator for YouTube, but you don't really have any real contributions on things. I don't know. I'm not sure what you wanted me to review on this one, unfortunately. Let me look here. I would say that if your goal is to get a job in tech, that needs a tremendous amount of work. If your goal is to get YouTube viewers, it still needs a tremendous amount of work. There's a lot that needs to happen on that website. Okay, let's see. Here is Adele. All right, I'm Adele Abdul Azim. I'm a software engineer. I focus on web development. I can help you out with. Okay, follow me on Twitter. Your portfolio. I like the GIFs. I like the write-up. This is a lot better than most of the ones that we've seen. This is a really good project section. This is a lot better, actually. This is kind of what I've been talking about. I like this. And then some of your writing. But that's it, man. Man, you had me for a second. Adele, you had me for a second, man. I was getting excited. Oh, man, there's nothing else. Definitely got to get some work done. So here's the thing, what I hate about the date, right? When you have that date there, and now lets me know that the last time you wrote a blog post was almost a full year ago. And so it's like, oh, he's not writing blog posts. Maybe he's not keeping up to date. You create so many issues. But then here you say, check out some of my writing. It's not some, it's one. Like, you need to think about how that's being presented there. So I'd be working on all that immediately to kind of get some of that up. But this is definitely for the day when it came to a project section. I think this implemented the overall idea of what someone would want to see a lot better than most. I just wish we would have a couple additional details, like what is the tech stack you use, so that way people know what it is that you're kind of guiding with. Maybe instead of 3 in a line, you do 2 and you kind of widen it out so you have more real estate to utilize, to leverage. I love that you have so many projects. It just showcases you in a very impressive, active way. I think that's a big win there. I don't know what your level is. Let's see. You're at 100 devs too. You're out of Egypt, man. One of my coworkers, man, he lives in Egypt, man. So like, you've got that going on. I like that. Let's see your portfolio. I mean, LinkedIn. This, you got to fix this. These are all links. You got to fix that. Your LinkedIn profile needs work. But the fact that you're a junior with this is very impressive to me compared to some of the people that we've talked to today. Yeah. Yeah. Shinoda does. Yeah. He's, by the way, he's like an absolute, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My brother is in the chat. Oh my goodness. Let me get serious right now, y'all. Let me get serious. Don't delay. Start today. If you saw the latest LinkedIn, I mean not LinkedIn podcast episode, that was Leon's quote. Brother, what are you doing here, man? We got some special folks in the building. I had to screenshot that one. I have proof now. I have proof that we are friends outside of the podcast, just like that. I agree to get bullied. No bullying, no bullying. There was this portfolio where he had a playlist, and you suggested they remove it. I make tech humor content on TikTok, which gives you an insight to me. But should I leave that off of my portfolio? I always say it is you have to make. So in sales, they have this term. That's what I've been using a lot because I kind of learned this term recently. But essentially, when a salesperson is trying to sell something for a company, let's say somebody's a salesperson for Microsoft. Maybe they're selling corporate software to like big enterprise customers to try and get them like on Microsoft Azure, right? They would build a silhouette of what that customer looks like. What is their position? What are their likes? What are their interests? What is their technical abilities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then they would tailor their sales pitch to that silhouette to ensure that when they meet that prospective buyer, client, et cetera, they know what conversation could potentially look like and they're prepared for it. When you come to your portfolio site, you need to be thinking, what's the silhouette of the average users that are landing on this thing? Is it a recruiter? Is it a hiring manager? Is it a senior developer that I'm networking with? Like, what does that even look like? And based on that, maybe they're a recruiter at an enterprise level organization. Maybe I'm targeting Fortune 500 companies, right? I want to work at a Fortune 500 company. Based on that silhouette, does that TikTok tech humor help you get that role? If the answer to that question is no, then leave it off. If the answer to that question is yes, then put it on. The one thing that I would say is when I think of the silhouette of somebody in a Fortune 500 environment, they're often a lot more rigid in the things and criteria of what they're looking for to hire somebody for. And based on that, I would want to approach it in that way, right? Now, I'll be honest, if your goal is to be an influencer or to grow in some way, shape, or form, your strategy is going to be very different than if your goal is to be hireable. Now, the other thing that I'd say on that is being active on social media is not a plus. If anything, it's a negative. And I can definitely tell you for a fact, I've lost points or been deducted points in interviews simply because of my popularity on the internet, because they're like, oh, you're going to spend way too much time on this thing. And I constantly get into those conversations. Yeah, AutoZone, that was a conversation I had to have. Oh, you're popular. Like, we actually know you. I will say the way that I conduct myself on the internet was a big reason why my company, I was the very last remote only hire AutoZone hired for after the pandemic. They closed it off after that. I'm sure some people can potentially get on, but it just went from the norm of everybody being remote to now it's like very, very, very individualized cases. But the CTO had followed me on LinkedIn. I didn't know this. And so when they got my application and they were told about me, because of the way I conducted myself, that is why they were supportive of the idea of me being remote, because they knew I would be very business focused. But the fact that I had a large follower account definitely weighed heavily against me because they thought I'd be wasting company time, which I never do. But it's just something to think about. You're creating the narrative of your perception. So it's like whatever you want to be perceived by, you control this flow, you control this path. This is your narrative to think about. Do it. What's going on, Roger? How you doing? Wow. Yeah, I mean it happens, right? But it's things to think about. At the end of the day, every single thing that we're doing, this is a game. Getting hired is a game. You're just playing the game in a way that kind of sets you up to make it on easy mode instead of playing it on difficult mode, right? The more that you have fighting for you in the right column and section, that just decreases the difficulty. You don't even have to have a resume to get hired, if we're being real. But the more items you have and the more items you have set up in the right way sets you up to take advantage of that. When you have a lot of items missing, you're just increasing the difficulty or decreasing the range and breadth of the effect that you may potentially have. I'm a wizard. You know, Leon, I'm gonna scroll up. We were literally geeking out, and the moment's gone now. You missed it, dude. You literally missed it. But we were geeking out about, where is it at? Da-da-da-da-da. Where is the comments? Oh, into this comment, tickets aren't on sale yet. Commit your code. Tickets are not on sale yet, and they should have already been on sale. I'm the bottleneck. I have not filled up the entire CRM yet with all the speakers, but I think it's going to be in about a week if the world operates properly with me. Yeah, hopefully it's a week. Oh yeah, we were geeking out about Pokemon, man. You missed the whole talk. Now it's gone, dude. It's gone. Controlling my narrative. Yep, that's my whole strategy when it comes to this. Every time I'm constantly thinking about how am I controlling my narrative instead of them running with it in an area that they want to take it to, essentially. So whenever it comes to any of this, yeah, we were geeking out about it. Definitely. Good stuff. Let's see here. I have a bunch more of these portfolio sites to knock out real fast. I'm gonna do one last push of these portfolio sites, and then we will call it. Here we go. Let's look at this thread. Who did I not do? This one I wanted to do, but I think the whole portfolio site, let me open it here. It's just as information. Oh, okay. No, it's not. Just whatever he submitted was the core link of it. All right. And then we have LinkedIn. We have this one. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Who else? Man, everyone just submitted all this private information. Some people are just way too protective. I mean, not protective of their info. All right. So I think we've gone through 20 portfolio sites today. It's a lot. All right. So DJ Niels, let's refresh. Okay. I like that little smooth transition. Immediate social links. I don't really like them there, mainly because it just pulls me off of your stuff, right? I'd rather control that flow first. As we scroll, there's nowhere to scroll. Sorry. So we press here, view my work. We missed the mark again. I do like this. I learned a little bit about him. This could be a lot significantly better, like significantly so. Like I'd have it scattered out. I'd have you showcasing other things. Like here's conference highlights, which is cool. What about the meetup highlights? What about you working on projects? What are some of the things that there's so much that you could have. I do like this kind of like level of design because it's organized, but even this, I would have this like, why not have this here, image here, this content here, and image here, like stagger it, make it look aesthetically pleasing, work on it. You even said the first highlight point about yourself is UI UX. Well, the UI for this is basic. The UX isn't there. I would alternate it and you can improve both dramatically just off of that. Technologies like these are just buzzwords. I don't know what the purpose of this is. I would remove that and adjust that. Contact, I think this is, I would remove that. I'll apply ASAP. I don't know the reason for that. I think this could be optimized a little bit. Oh man, the light mode looks so much better. Oh, why is the light mode not default for you? And I'm not even the type of person that likes these colors. That looks so much better. Just adjust that. Again, kind of going back into the same thing that we said earlier. I don't owe you the time to check out these projects. And the other thing, this is the one thing that gets me. You can make this a fixed card height, so each card is the same size. The fact that this title has one extra line shouldn't break the entire flow and design of all these pages or all these cards. This is a very easy and avoidable mistake. I would fix this. Oh, you were in the cohort. You were in the cohort. This is the cohort project. Let's see the demo. Which team was this? Well, no demo for us. I don't know what happened there. Regardless, I like that there's a project description. I like that. Oh, I know what team you're on. You're on Team Dennis. This is good. It's .NET project. It's great, especially the fact that you live in Dallas. This is very valid. Do you live in Dallas? I'm making an assumption here. It doesn't even say on your portfolio site where you live. Oh, I love the fact that you have real clients. Look at this. You have real clients. Where are the projects? So you have real clients and you have a hangman game there, a password generator there, and then you have the cohort project there. What are we doing? Like, I would have, like, the fact that you have real clients and the fact that I had to find that out at the very bottom of this page, this needs to be improved dramatically because I would be leading with this instead of burying this. Like, this would be the thing that I'm highlighting immediately. Hey, here are some of my clients that support my work and like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That, yeah, yes. Like, this is so impressive. And it's not even just one. We have how many? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clients. And this, I didn't find this out until the very, I almost closed out of the website. Oh man. Yeah, we got to fix that, man. That's like such an impressive thing. Matter of fact, this actually just bothered me so much that I literally just made a note to message you directly after this because that's how much this pains my heart. Bro's taking the world by storm, but hiding at the bottom. That's what I'm saying. Oh man, that one hurt. I had no clue you've done all this client work. And where is it even at? So I know this was one. Oh, dude. Why are we hiding this? Oh, dude, this is great stuff. We should not be hiding this. This should not be buried, dude. Matter of fact, where the hell are you? He didn't submit it here. Where did he submit this? Man, burying the lead, man. I'm being professional, but I'm hot. You're a rock star, Sheldon. You rock. Exactly. These reviews are so dope. You look at those cars hundreds of times and probably don't even notice the style issues anymore. Yes. Literally that. And I know that because you know what's funny is almost every person that we reviewed that has been in the stream has said pretty much the same thing. Like, oh, I need to fix that. I didn't realize it. La da da. All right. Hello, my name is Liz Mary Vigil, software developer. I'm a software developer with a background in psychology and a passion for building aesthetic and user-friendly applications. I mean, I kind of dig this vibe a little bit. Let's see what we do with this featured project. Is again, it's the same thing. Braden, sir, we've already shown your site not once, not twice, not 3, but 4 times on here. Okay, It was submitted without you submitting it, sir. Five times. I don't have to type it in. The name is already there. There's the fifth time. One thing that I just found out that I love is these are draggable. I did not know that all the times I've been on the site. I found it out by accident. This is so cool to me. These are draggable. I love this. Obviously, I've told you that. So my one critique, because it's fit the theme for a lot of people. Yeah, click on that circle image at the top too. Oh, see, here's the thing. Easter eggs are fun when it's a website that you go to all the time, right? But if you're just going to it for the first time, you're going to end up missing it. And so unless they're going back because they have you 5 times on a live stream, they don't find this stuff out. Yeah. Yeah. But I will say this is my critique. I have one critique here, and that it's the same thing that I've had the critique of other people. And your goals definitely change based on what it is that you're trying to do with your portfolio site, right? And so for me, the thing that has been a resounding theme with majority of the portfolio sites today is if you have the opportunity to get somebody to your portfolio site, it's because they want to learn more about you, right? And so before we kind of show them anything else or redirect them to these other things, like for example, connections, right? Connections is cool because these are people that you really like, or booking a call with me, but they're trying to find out more about you because they're on your website. That about information stuff is gone. And so here's what sets me apart and makes me unique. What? Connections, your call. I know it's this, but the only way to find this out is by being redirected. So we should have more information that incentivizes the redirection. That was the whole thing that for me, that was the only big thing. Like even this, I feel like this plays more into that about section than at the bottom, because at least it's letting them know like, hey, you've spoken, et cetera, et cetera. Oh my God, you barely need that excuse, Brayden. Version 5. But I will say, I did not know this dragging thing. It was a happy little surprise. But this I thought was very, very impressive that you built as it connects and goes. I like this a lot. I thought this was really, really cool. So I definitely highlighted it many times. All right, so going back to this, the problem here is, again, similar to what I just said to Bray, Liz Murray, I don't know anything about you. I'm here because I'm literally trying to learn more about you. And then I go to the featured projects. It's like, oh, I no longer have the opportunity to learn anything about you. It's back to no, you didn't derail, because I think it just feeded into the overall theme of the discussion and hopefully help somebody out. And then now I get to learn about you. But it's like, if I landed on this first, there's not much there. And if we were to go back, where's his project? This one dude who was just here. He just tweeted at me the link. Where to go? Here. This is what I've given advice for many times for the projects. You have a GIF here that's helping to create the incentive of what that project is doing. Now, if you were to combine that, what was her name again? Liz Murray. If you were to combine that with some of this, oh, see, I can't even highlight this because as soon as I touch it, it moves. Yep. Yeah, accessibility. I think it kind of works in this regard. Oh, wait. I'm just curious. Never mind. And it's not against her. I mean, junior dev probably hasn't had a job in tech. It makes sense. People don't know. I think it looks cool though, but yeah, definitely not accessible. Resume history, as far as, oh, never mind. They do work in tech. They should know better. Now you learn something. So, yeah, but this is not a good experience. Like if I'm going here to try and copy something or search something about it, I shouldn't be moving all of the cards just off of that alone. I think this could be reworked, unfortunately, and hopefully that can kind of, let's see what this does. Track your media effort effortlessly. I like this. Bray, I guess this faded white thing is a theme now, huh? It looks good though. I think design wise, this is nice, but if the goal is to use it to leverage opportunities or to create deeper connections, we've missed the mark on this one, unfortunately. And I think this kind of goes back into what I said before, like how people use the portfolio site. My theory doesn't. It's not even my theory. My use case and what I believe a portfolio site to be is just different than every single other human being that I've ever seen do a tutorial on it or anything. So like if I'm at a meetup and in this one, Liz Murray, easy URL to remember, right? If I'm at a meetup and you come up to me and we just met each other at a meetup and you're like, oh, Danny could probably be a referral for me at a company, or maybe he would want to refer me to one of his teams. Let me give him my portfolio site instead of my LinkedIn. How are you going to do that? Hey, check out my website. And if you could give me any feedback or anything like that, my URL is lizmarie.com. Cool. And I get here and I'm like, oh, I'm going to learn something about Liz Marie. It's like I land here and there's nothing. It's like we just lost a really valuable opportunity to convert somebody from like a complete stranger that doesn't know anything about me to now a fan or an enthusiast or someone that's going to recommend me when I'm not in the room with them, right? That strategy changes the way that we're doing things at that point. And so if your early career, hell, even late career, if I'm networking with somebody and I think there's a business opportunity, I'm gonna send them here. Do you know how well this website converts for me on a regular basis? How many emails I get every week just from this thing alone? How many right now? How many sponsorship opportunities that we're getting coming in our email because of it? And not just for our like programming podcast with Leon, for Modern Web at work, even our blog at work, we're starting to get hits for it. Like this converts. How many new people we get to the Discord just from this one link here alone? Like this whole flow is set up to build credibility and convert people to learning more about me. And then again, if we just go through the same thing that we went through earlier, like we have the link there and the scroll test. As you scroll, we're not even reading things, but as you scroll, do you get some kind of feeling about me? Just that scroll alone teaches you so much. You get attached, that rapport is built, et cetera, et cetera. Do you have any analytics on your portfolio site? Yes. There are analytics. All right. Joseph Tundi, this is very clean. You know what it actually reminds me of right away is Notion. I don't know if that was the intention. You're part of the reason why. You're the one that suggested that I go that route, so I will take it. Show us those numbers. Let me look here. I haven't looked at this in a while. Hold on, let me enter my passwords and stuff. That's the wrong one. Let's see. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so just in the last 7 days, alone, 200 people on the website, 400 different page views. Majority of the flow came from Twitter. A lot came from LinkedIn. People came from Google, Facebook. That's crazy. I don't know where they're coming from on Facebook. Majority from America. That's just in the last week. India, Nigeria, UK. Interesting. Majority via mobile, which I kind of assumed, to be honest. And then that's a bigger number than I thought for desktop. And then, hey, yeah. So I feel pretty good about this. Oops. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Let's see. Okay, so Joseph, I feel very notiony using this. I don't know what the intention is of this. Oh, they're not the same picture. I would rework this just because I thought they were both the same picture. I agree with Braden. I like the Notion style. This is very different than majority of the um, portfolio sites that we've seen today. Uh, One big issue, I don't know anything about you. Um, when it comes to work, I do like how it breaks out here. But you know what I dislike? Ooh, it really made my skin kind of crawl a little bit. Look how everything is centered. And then, oh, I was expecting content here. Nope, it went here. If I have a theme and a flow and a location and placement of things, I'd want to, especially if your goal, because it seems like this is the intent for it to change without it being like a refresh to a new page, even though it is, you wanted it to be that seamless thing. But moving it here really irked me just now. So I'd probably follow a similar theme. Yep. Yeah, bring back sidebar navigation. Yeah, I like this a lot. A lot, actually. But I feel like, man, there's just so much that could be here. PM tools. Yeah, I even have Google Analytics on it, but I just don't see a reason why. Like Framer does it all. Um, and yeah, Framer's pretty cool. Actually, Braden's the reason why I even try to use Framer for it. I've never used Framer. That was like the first real project that I built with Framer, and then the second one was the Commit Your Code website, which that was more for like we had other people touching it, so it's easy to just have like one theme. But I think going forward, like there's definitely pros to Framer. I don't know if I'd use it again for a new thing though. I could see the pros of it though. Don't get me wrong. Like just having a template, you kind of set things up with, like, et cetera, et cetera. But there's definitely things that you give up, things that you get, and stuff like that. And so this is what to your Twitter. Yeah, there's definitely some optimizations that I would do there. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Yeah, I think we reviewed almost 30 portfolio sites today. This was a lot. If you got any value, wow, we had a lot of people stop by for this one. I did not realize that. Yeah, number one, thank y'all so much for hanging out. If you aren't already, do me a favor and go ahead to, oh, I forgot I could do it here. Whoops. Check us out. Oh, that's on Spotify. Check us out, y'all, on Spotify. Spotify is our largest listening audience. Oh, we hit 204. We hit 204. Let's go. 204 likes. One thing I would say also, show some love. By the way, a lot of folks were asking questions that we literally answered in this episode, but also we answered a lot in this episode. And the last one, we answered specifically to some of the questions that were asked today. A lot in, well, I think actually we actually answered a lot in this one, but there was one more. Oh, this one. Those should be like the 4 episodes that y'all are like really hitting on. And if you aren't already subscribed to the YouTube channels, por favor, we got 1,000 subscribers, man. But to be honest, we only upload once a week. We don't do anything else. So it's there. Some episodes take off. I gotta spend more time on this, I think. But regardless, this episode of the Art of the DM, yeah, this I think is gonna help a lot of people. And you know what was crazy to me? But it just goes to prove something. That's a crazy pause moment. This video made me realize that I have no idea how to make friends. To be honest, this is what I've started to realize about a lot of people that struggle with like networking or meeting other people. This right here is a very, very, very common theme, unfortunately. What I'm hearing, each episode has a crap ton of gold nuggets. To be honest, yeah. Hi and bye. Just finished listening to an episode of the podcast. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Oh, I realized too, the podcast website is up. The podcast website is live, y'all. We have it up there. We have it up there. We've got something there. We it's looking good. Oh, look at it. Look at it. I'm a sucker for a hover effect. I ain't gonna lie. But like, yeah, it only took us 25 weeks, but it's live. I think this is really good though. This came really good. Ooh. Yeah, we got to get that on there. But very good, very cool. Yeah, so if you haven't already, check us out, the podcast. Also, commityourcode.com. Keep it on your radar. I think, Braden, can we say like by this time in a couple days, we'll have this thing changed? I'm working on the CMS literally right before this and right after this. And you know what I'm going to do real fast? New site is coming. While I got y'all here, I'm going to do one thing. Wait, is this? Oh, yeah. I'm going to show y'all one thing. Man, you know what's crazy? I got a video coming out tomorrow that I did for a company. And after that talk, I'm down to get this out ASAP. Oh, I did a video yesterday for a company of windsurf versus warp. You notice how it's always pinned on my taskbar now. And man, oh man, very, 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 very crazy circumstances. Does this? I uploaded. Oh, this is the sample. There still needs to be some work on this version, unfortunately. But this is the beginning of Event Convo. Well, it's more than a beginning, if we're being honest. But we got a lot going on here. Let me open up localhost because this is going to have the most up-to-date version. I've been working on this nonstop. And you know what's been the biggest pain in the ass? Geolocationing. 36 errors. Page still loaded though. Okay. That looked great. What the heck is the login for this? I have all these test users. Man, I'm super hyped for Event Convo. Look at it. I've been working on the design of this nonstop. Everything is broke. 36 errors, rookie number. That's what I'm saying. If it's loading, built the sign up page. Look how clean that looks, man. I've been working on this. Let me get a user. I can't remember. You know what it is? I used to have the user saved in my thing, but I completely wiped my computer. And so now I'm trying to get everything. I need to see when the next meetup is. I missed a few good ones. Yeah, this is a project that I'm building that let's see if this works. Close. Yes. So this is a project that I've been building. It's essentially going to be a competitor to meetup.com. Dang, I didn't even realize the comment was still up there. Sashi is a user. He doesn't know that he is, or maybe he knows now, but regardless. But I've built this to solve a lot of problems, man. I'm really happy with the way that it's been coming together. There's the group page. You can create an event for your group. Look at that. Man, I feel like I've been putting it together, but I added some fields to this and it kind of changed everything. But we can go ahead, test event. We can go ahead and this is a test event. We can even do food. This was actually like really interesting to kind of end up developing. Wait, why is it not allowing me to go? Oh, no. Oh, I know. Oh, that's an interesting edge case. I did not think about this. So if I add space and then do it, I can get out of it. Oh, interesting. I need to add like a line to the bottom of it whenever it's made. But it'll display like that. We'll make this in the future sometime. We'll put it in Dallas. Parking, free parking. Transit bus system nearby. Accessibility, ramps and elevators are on the main area, are in the main area. Whoops. And then sponsor, we'll avoid that for now. Event image, let's just throw something up there for now. And actually, let's do this one. I don't have any event images on my computer since the state. Create the event. Bam, we got the event there. And this is how it displays. I need to fix this, whatever, this is wrong. And then the location, but at least the location shows it in the Dallas area since I didn't give an address for it to display. And then you can RSVP. And then, of course, it prompts you to share it on social media, of course. And then it now shows that person there. And you can now see whoever RSVPs, et cetera, going there, right? And then if you go back to the main events, we can see. I deleted that one. Whoops. Let's look here. So we can see like all these attendees. Now let's say I want to see Danny Thompson's profile. We're not connected as friends though. So I have now a limited access view of the profile. And it isn't until he gives me a full access profile do I see everything. He can choose whatever he displays. Like right now, he's not displaying his email address. He's not displaying all his tiles. He's not displaying his groups. I can't even click through, etc. Same for me. But if I'm at a networking event, I can let them scan my QR code and it has an access token on that. And by having that access token, I get full access to these profiles. So I could see everything. So I can send them an email if I wanted to, et cetera, et cetera. I could share my profile. If there was links that I had here to share that I could. But as a speaker, maybe I work in DevRel or something like that. If I want to see an event and apply to speak, I can now see any event that has a CFP open because as a speaker, I've turned on the speaker view. So when I go here, only speakers with this on will see this. And so with the call for speakers, it's disabled at the moment. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because the date's passed, March 19th. Whoops. But if the so if I want to find any events, so now, for example, this, it's disabled too, even though it's in the future. I have to look at this bug. That's part of the 36, probably. But if you look, for example, at preferences, I'm a speaker. I would like to see conferences. If you disable that and then you save it, you won't see the CFP page anymore. Once you go to the homepage or refresh, rather. Yeah, so no more CFP. You won't see, for example, any events that have like call for papers open, et cetera, et cetera. But let's say this group, right? They're over here and they're looking for speakers. You can join the group. You're joined, but you don't necessarily see if they're looking for speakers, right? So this could be one of the errors right now. I don't know. I was working on this last night, and so I did something. Oh, this group is not looking for speakers anymore. Or there's an error. But essentially, there is like a menu here where, as for meetup groups, if they're looking for speakers, they can turn on the flag and they can find people that in their community that want to speak. Maybe they've never spoke before, anything like that. They can submit a session to speak locally. And it will show them what that looks like essentially. So if I go to my group, for example, so let me go ahead and turn on the setting and we go ahead and allow speaker applications. So I can save it and save this change. And now no one submitted yet. But if somebody were to come to my group, they could now apply to speak, and I could see all of these applications. So I could have all the speakers in one location to go ahead and say, like, oh, I want to speak here, and la da 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 da. It kind of works out that way. And then here, I got to adjust some of this. But yeah, little formatting changes now. Now it's all formatting, it's all adjustments. But the geolocation on this has been killer. So New York. So if I were to now change this to New York, it shows no events because no events exist in New York right now on this. But this also dynamically changes. So now it says be part of the New York tech scene instead of Dallas. If I change this to business in New York, discover business events near you. You join the best business meetups. And now it says be part of the New York business scene. So all that's kind of happening in real time based on like the categories that you're selecting, et cetera, to find events for. Tons to do though, tons to still do. But I love how far this has come from where it was. I'm really, really happy with that. And then like your profile tiles. Oh, this user doesn't really have anything set up yet though. But like you could create as many tiles as you want, right? So let's say maybe you have a great blog article or something like that. You can create that, show it on the limited access profile, and you can see what a blog looks like. And then you can go ahead and also create, let's say, an image. And so create content for this. You could do a link to it, or you can just upload this image here and save it. And so now save the changes. And so now if I were to go to like the full version of my profile, refresh. Of course it's not my profile. Whoops. I was about to flip out. All right. Let's go here. There you go. So now in the full access version of this, actually, even if you remove the access token, you should still see it. Yep. So I decided on this profile to show on the limited access as well, but I could hide everything if I wanted to, and just display what I would like. And then of course, if I have a blog article that I submitted here, I can kind of have whatever I want written there. I'm going to submit so many talks. That's the whole purpose. Right now, there's no centralized location for talks, for conferences, or none of that. So I was like, how can we build something where if you're in DevRel, you're not having to scrape the entire web to try and find an event. There's a centralized location for it. But the other thing is, like, when you have, so now we look in Dallas, now we find these events. If we were to have like 15 events or something like that, as you scroll, it then shows you similar like this, like featured events. It shows you like, oh, did you know these conferences were happening near you? I wiped out the database to start fresh, and I removed some events and added some, and I got to add some more, to be honest, because I didn't realize last night when I was making this that some of these events already expired, so I got to adjust that. Y'all are still here. Honestly, we're literally wrapping it up right now. But yeah, I'm kind of geeked out about all this. And then of course you have date filtering and all that good stuff. So you could, I guess this is one of the errors. I don't know what I did to break all this, but I did something. I will find out. It shows, oh, it's only toggling and featured events. Interesting. I did something where, oh, what? Now it's working. I don't know. Anyway, you can theoretically scroll for events through the calendar to find out like what events are happening in your area on a specific date. So like, for example, if I want to see what events were happening on June 30th, I'd click on June 30th and it only show me the events happening then. I could keep scrolling and find out like if there's events in the future, et cetera, or I think the ones in the past, it wipes out automatically. But like this one hasn't happened yet. So you see the June 30th one available and you can toggle based on that. And so obviously if there's like a bulk of events, maybe 100 events plus, you could then go date by date via the calendar and find out which ones are actually happening or not. Anyway, I've been loving it. And what's funny is I don't even really like the color orange, but I've been really liking how everything has come together and kind of made the design what it is. Why leave when it's a good time? This is true, actually. Braden is here, though. Yep. And his lights are on from what I hear. Lights are on. Oh, interesting. Now it's showing the parking details. I got to figure out what that bug is now. Regardless, that's what I've been working on. And so, cool. I'm actually now, as soon as this is done, going to finish building out that CMS for the Commit Your Code website. Finish building out the CMS for the Commit Your Code website so we can get that live. That has to happen. And then I'm going to get back to finishing out building this vector database because I'm trying to do a whole tutorial on it. And so be on the lookout for that too. We should get some more. To be honest, my goal is to make AI very approachable for people right now. And so I want to break down a lot of these concepts step by step. So that's one of the next ones that I'm trying to come out with. Y'all, it's been over 2 hours. We reviewed God knows how many portfolio sites it felt like. It's been real. It's been fun. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.